Okay, everybody, we're going to do a quick view of how the walking sticks are going. There's ones that I'm keeping because they're too big, and this is going to be my personal one. I'm either going to make that a cobra or a bunch of little balls where it circles all the way down. I think that look cool. And this is what I've worked on so far, just to give you guys an idea of what I've been busy doing. And I talked to somebody about, me not trusting everybody as to show my art and process. And I don't know why I'm like that. I guess I have paranoia, if I'm just honest. I worry about, people stealing my ideas or copying me or making me feel less valuable and insignificant, and that my stuff isn't worth anything. And that comes down to like mushroom hunting. Like with me, like people might say like, why don't you sell them or whatever. And when I was young, I used to take mushrooms to my neighbors. My dad used to take me in snowstorms. We'd take the old people milk in Fulton where I grew up. And I would take them mushrooms because I could always find these Morel mushrooms, and I'd find more than my share. So I'd take this guy, Roger Kent, a guy that lived where I lived, and he was a person in our community who was prominent, and he had a disability, and he taught me how to find mushrooms in places where I wouldn't normally look. So I always appreciated him very much, and would always, when I'd find more than my share, I knew he wanted them, and he would pay me like $15 a pound. He would try to give me all sorts of money. And I was probably, we never weighed him or anything. He would always just tell me not to give my things away that I earned and that I, struggled through the weeds and briars to get. Well, people would catch me in this woods called the Ballpark Woods, where everybody would go mushroom hunting in this town behind the baseball park. And the moral of the story is I got berated by a lot of people and not allowed to go in woods because I was selling to this guy who was disabled, and they said I was taking advantage of him. So for me, it's difficult, that being burned in my head as a young man, to work out that it's okay to earn money that way. I feel scandalous. Even if I go to a public place, even if I have permission, people say I'm a trespasser. I have this reputation that's followed me throughout time that says I'm a trespasser and, I'm just selling them and not, I'm nefarious. Even if I give them all away, even if I'm, totally good to everybody, it doesn't matter. That reputation follows you. And, I'm just showing you these as I talk about this, about mushrooms and what's in my head and why I am the way I am. And I have physical limitations just like anybody. And even though I have gifts and talents, I used to go to the art museums with my dad, and there'd be artists painting or sculpting, and they'd do it right in front of everybody. And I wish I could do that. Like, share like, I'm making this is gonna sound a little nuts, but I'm making this for Mike Tyson. I'm gonna see if I can gift it to him. See, that's gonna be a red Everlast boxing glove. I seen him with a walking stick in a video, and I thought that man the champ deserves a real walking stick made by the Morel Jones channel. So I'm working on it, and it's probably looks stupid. It probably won't be, something he'd want, but I think it would fit him. That's one, I still got a long ways to go to get it to be a glove. And I might not do that. It may change into something else. This is one I was showing you that had cracked, and some things don't work out. Like I didn't cut it long enough where it checked. And even though I let it dry right, it split along this seam here. I don't know if you can still see, like, I've tried to hide it. And it turned out, I think, so beautiful the way it shows all that grain and the line of the middle, the cork of the middle, or whatever you call it. And now I've made it like that into a handle. And, that's what you just work with what you got. This one's done, waiting for, trying to get a hold of the woman I want to give it to. She won't answer my calls. But I think it's pretty nice. And this is a new idea I'm working on as a handle. And I think it's done pretty much. A lot of these will be done. This one's going to be a flower, see? And I just got to carve out all the petals and stuff. I've got it already made to size because this is really heavy. It was way taller, but it's so heavy. It's such a heavy walking stick, and you could hit a bear in the face with that and it wouldn't break. And this is going to be a flower as well. I have some friends that have a company. I'm trying to make it into their logo or whatever and put a handle on it, and it's beautiful, I think. I still got to get a bottom for it. But yeah, pretty much they're getting, just need to trim them. And isn't that one nice? I'll try to spin them all for you guys. And all these, if you guys get one, like there's one of my favorite subscribers, if she sent me a postcard, she's gonna get one. If you get one, these are all handmade. They're hand carved. The only Dremel work I do is on the pits of the mushrooms. You know, if I do those. If I don't do a mushroom, like this one, I'm just gonna leave this way because it's so beautiful just the way it is. You know, with the vines still trapped in it, and it makes a beautiful, like, what do you call it? Old world fidget. You know, it's a fidget stick, but it's real curved, but it feels really nice. And that's already going to somebody as well. It's spoken for. And these here, I'm going to put antler made handles on. And this one I haven't decided yet. And I don't know how to inspire you on a process of that. That seems to be like a personal thing. You have to look at whatever you're gonna carve and let it come out to you. Like if you see, you know, let's say if that was trapped there, I'd see a face and I would take this off and make this a smile, you know, by picking this curve up, and that'd be a smile. And then you just have to make a nose and some eyes and then turn this back into a forehead and some hair. You know, that's one way, but that wouldn't work because the curve goes on around. But that's one way to think of it, you know. In this, I had a bunch more material, but I kept seeing a boxing glove in there for whatever reason. I still do. You know, it's smaller than my hand, but, or a fist, you know, I don't know. And this one here, I'm making into, I was gonna make it into a cluster of mushrooms, but it might turn into a hand as well because I have enough for fingers. And this, where is it? Right here, to me, is looking like a thumb. You see? A small version of a hand. So you just look at what you have and see what you see in it. This, I want to do either I was going to do a sandhill crane, but I'm seeing a horse or a mule, or not a mule, a donkey, a jackass. You know, I'm kind of seeing it. But what I'm finding is the materials are very hard to carve. Like it chips out. You know, it doesn't carve well. Can you see that? It just flakes away. So if you try to do like an eye right here, it just chunks out and you lose it. But do you see what I'm saying when you see a horse in there? Or you see a dog? Or you see like, let's say like right there, I see like a schnauzer. You see a schnauzer, you could carve out of that pretty easily. And that's what you should do, is you should try to look at the object, the material you have. What do you got to take away? Some here to do some ear. If you do the whole ear, is there enough left for the head? Yeah, that's kind of how a schnauzer looks. That looks very schnauzerish on that side. This side looks more like a horse or a jackass mule. Being it's this weekend, we'll say a mule. That's not good material for carving, so I may have to do an antler handle on it or a mushroom. Which either way, it's a beautiful, you know, nature did that, not me. I think sometimes by carving on stuff, you minimize its beauty, natural beauty. You know, look at all the natural beauty in all of those, right? You see that, right? And this one's too big, so I'm keeping it. And I don't know what to do with it. I think I may do 2 snakes going up it, like a double helix thing. I don't know. All right, this is Morel Jones' channel. Just showing you my progress. And that's something I made a long time ago. We all got to start somewhere.